Okay, people, we're here in the shop, and I'm putting together a little versus deal here with these two rigs. On the left, we've got an Exocage Darcy Exocutioner. Uh, yeah, Exocutioner. It has um, these Vanquish. They're not the Chanquish Chinese Vanquish axles, front and rear. Steer axle in the rear as well. Um, Transmission is the Deluxe Fab OD3. I've got the Flash Hobby 60 kg direct power up front and the 45 kg Chinese Internet servo in the back. I'm running Rock Lizards, 100 mil Rock Lizards. I've got the SSD steel beadlocks with these big boggers. These are the, let's see if we can get in there, 5.4-inch tall boggers. They are on 1.9s. They are the big boggers. So there are brass Chinguses up front, none in the rear. I'm running the Radio Link RC4 GS radio. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm missing anything. And over here, we've got the Rock Pirates Rum Runner. This is the newest rig here. It's got the Mias isokinetic axles here. Just steering on the front, sort of a regular setup in the rear. I am running axial. It's an axial based 3-gear with the dig unit. I've got the Reefs 777 direct power here on the front steering servo. I've got Chinese Internet DravTech shock clones. I am running, well, whatever the dig servo is the Spectrum stock setup that they typically kind of include in RTRs. I don't know where it came from. It's been in the parts bin, so also running the Fusion there. So and the Fly Sky, whatever that Fly Sky radio is, it is the G7P, I think. Anyhow, yeah. So we're gonna put these two together against each other and see how it goes. This is not an apples to apples sort of deal, sort of just for fun. But I do think, for some reason, some sneaky suspicion tells me that the Rock Pirates rig is gonna do as well as the Executioner. But we shall see. Oh, I didn't talk about the tires. I got the Vanquish Falcon Wild Peaks with the Injora blue silicone inserts. So these guys have the stock Proline inserts, foam inserts. So let's get out there and check it out. Okay, so we're going to start with the Executioner here, and we're going to do the usual kind of climb up to the top there and then back down and around, and we'll see what we can do here. I am not mic'd up. I'm just using the whatever the regular mic is here on this phone. I'm recording with my phone like normal, so you are going to hear sheep in the background. So I got this guy here set up with my rear steer on the variable rate knob in the back, so that's kind of how I'm going to be doing the 4-wheel steer if I need to. So let's just see how this goes. I do have a bit of overdrive on this truck, and I can't be sure if this is gonna climb here, but we'll see. You're gonna hear in the background that Fly Sky radio chirping at me. So anyway, so if I can't climb up right here, I'm going to kind of come off to the right. A little bit of a hop happening. So you guys will have to sort of tell me, I think, how this goes in the comments. I'm just going to try and run these lines and kind of judge it based on that. I'm going to try to just slow crawl it. You can hear those boggers trying to grab, and I'm offline now here. Let's see what we can do. Get back in line there. Okay. I didn't want to back up. I wanted to stay with that, so that's what I did. These tires are pretty hard. They are the G8 compound, so I'm gonna, if I had dig on this rig, I would use it right here, but I don't. I'm gonna use 4-wheel steer to kind of cut that corner, which isn't gonna give me the tightest radius. Okay, so what I'll end up doing here is a full loop, and then I'll come back down kind of in that same obstacle set that I tried to come up in. So, and then we'll give a bit of a drag brake test and some of that stuff. And then I'll kind of pull it off to the side, and we will run the Rum Runner. So I'll just park this bad boy right up here out of the way. And then we'll go in here for the Rum Runner. So, no dig, or no 4-wheel steer, just dig. Let's see if I can get this steep climb. I was able to get this climb before I swapped the Mias axles on here, so I think these probably, they're not going to produce the same climb, but it's fairly comparable here to what we saw with the Exocutioner. Okay, I used a bit more wheel speed, I think. Both of these trucks being portal axle trucks. Uh-oh, gonna lose it. Oh yeah, we duffel bagged that front tire pretty good, but we got it. So now into this section. The Executioner was kicked off to the left pretty good, so we'll see what the Rock Pirates rig does. The idea is right there where that driver's front is there's a little edge that you can kind of steer into the sidewall and get a bit of a bite. Right now my rear left, the rear driver, is sort of in a less than ideal spot. So we'll see if I can get the whole front of the rig to pull over to the left. Oh. Okay, I had to get a little bit obsessive with the throttle to make that happen. I did not set the line up right. Here at the top, I am going to grab dig. Sometimes you gotta bump a bit of reverse to get dig to engage. Now this is a cool part with these rigs that you've got dig, is it pivots and swings, and then you start to carry a tire, and it looks pretty cool. And then the back kind of comes around, and then everything kind of falls in. So add a dig, and then same thing, going to come down sort of right this way. Okay, so that was, I want to say, fairly similar. There's no real need to test the drag brake because they're both fusions, both on portals. I mean, how different could it really be, you know? So okay, let's go check out our second obstacle here. I'm going to get a little bit closer. Okay, now because I'm already driving the Rum Runner here, I'm just going to stick with it and set up this next line with it, and then I'll follow through with the Exocutioner. So this is sort of just a bouldery kind of ascent, some slick rock in there, a little bit of basalt, not a ton of traction on this sandstone. Everything's fairly smooth. Oh, had a camera shift. So I'm gonna come up here. I kind of went offline a little bit, but we are going to hit this side hill here, and then we are going to kind of make our way through this little notch, and then pull a hard climb up into the left. See if we can get it. Oh yeah, she's got it. Nice. I will say that last night I took these Mias axles and trimmed the steering stop back pretty dramatically on that front, so to increase that steering. I think I'm pretty hung up. Let's make sure I can get out of there. Oh yeah, we did it. Okay, now I'm gonna come back down here and cut back, and then we are going kind of offline here. We're gonna see if we can. Okay, I saved it, but it was off camera. That was a little bit of a risky line, but we did it. Okay, so swapping over to the Exocutioner here. See if I can follow that same pathway. You see the Rum Runner in the foreground there. So this thing with the OD3 trans is so much quieter than this axial 3 gear. Look for a little bit of traction there with the front end. I'm going to try not to fall off my line here. Trying to watch the camera and move the thing at the same time as drive. It's a little tricky. So this was the line I was hoping to stay in with the Rum Runner, but I lost it. So that oop, got a little bit of instability happening, but I think we're safe. That side hill can be tricky. I came in a little bit higher than with the Rum Runner, which, you know, leads you through that obstacle a little differently. So, oh, and I lost it. So we are going to. I was kind of up high, I feel like, on that. And maybe I made a mistake somewhere that I didn't catch, but we clearly flopped. It was a clear flop. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set back up, and we're going to reverse. We're going to reverse into a rollover right here probably. And we hit the camera. So, all right. We'll just we're gonna do a reset, a full reset, and try that whole thing again, because just to eliminate that there was operator error factor somewhere in there. I do feel like the first half of the climb goes a bit easier than the Rum Runner, but it's really hard to know. So now I'm gonna, that could have been the problem, is I brought the rear end up, which would lead to that like high side sort of weight shift. So, but I'm going to move through this section very slowly now and see if I can get a different result. So that rear end dropping off right there is going to be a little bit fiddly. With these desert lizards on this rig, I have them in a droop setup with I think it's the medium spring. Oh geez, well I didn't flip it, but you can see that weight trying to unload. See that? Well, I missed that whole thing too. But anyhow, you can see that suspension unloading. So we're gonna, this is already turning out to be a win for the Rock Pirates rig. And it got into that climb and transition a little bit better, I think, a little cleaner. Let's see if I can pull through this thing here. Oh, I'm up into the tree. Let's get situated here. Similar wheelbase. This thing is right at about 13 1/4 inches, whereas the Rum Runner is right at 13. It used to be 12.8, but with the Mias axles, it shifted something one way or another, so I get a little bit more wheelbase out of it. But the width is very similar from both these rigs. So I am rear steering here to kind of bring that rear end around. I don't want to crash. I would say the Exocutioner climbed into this sort of obstacle setter line a little bit better, but that midway point on that side hill, it definitely did not handle. So let's move to the next one. Okay, same sort of deal, because I'm driving the Exocutioner to finish that other obstacle. We're gonna just continue on with it, and we're gonna do this it's not a long climb, but it is fairly steep. Getting a little bit of hop out of those tires. But we got the bite. Good drag brake on this Fusion, but I reached to adjust the camera and stopped, so we slid back a bit. We'll get positioned back up here. Fly sky beeping at me. So the goal is to go down this backside, and I'm gonna rear steer, four-wheel steer. I'm gonna rear steer to bring this thing around, and we're gonna drop in here. Hopefully we got the steer on it to make it happen. Get that front axle to settle. Oh yeah, we got it. I don't know if that's in view like I'd like or not, but we managed. So that's cool. Hopefully the dig, that might have been like an unfair sort of move to pull, to cut back like that, but we'll see what happens with the Rum Runner. Okay. I'll kick this thing back to catch this angle here. Let's see if we can do it the same way, duplicate that climb. We got some trash can action up above. That rumbling you hear is the trash can. So the good traction is off on that right side. I'm going to try to get it Vanquish Falcon Wild Peaks are not really the greatest. Okay, I had to use a little bit of wheel speed, kind of cheat it. A little bit of cheating going on. Okay, so now I'm going to try to come to the right side. Oh, geez. I'm off. I am off. Let's see if I can save it. I can't. Okay, redo. Because there was a failure there. I went too far to the right. I went off. Yep, you got to use the wheel speed. So, okay, let's not drive off the other side. I got the dig. I'm going to drag the rear end around. Oh, I'm not going to make this turn. That's an interesting sort of deal happening. Slowly. Oh, we got it. We got it. Okay, so this obstacle set goes to the Exocutioner, clearly. Let's do a belly out climb and see what happens. Okay. These are all kind of concrete obstacles here. I got some storm drain pipe, fence post base, some rocks mixed in, but mostly all concrete, so kind of an interesting conglomeration of stuff here. So this is gonna give us an idea of what we have on this angled skid and the belly clearance available. And I think the Rum Runner is going to do really well here. Yeah. Very nice. Little duffel bag happening there on the rear axle, rear tire. So I'm going to swing it all the way around and drop over the storm drain pipe and set up for the next climb, which you can kind of see there on the right. Got some really good steer angle now that I trimmed those stops. So I will come into this and just wait. We'll just wait right there. So now I'm going to run the Executioner in. We'll see what happens. The Executioner has a really great skid too, forward angled skid. So there's pretty good belly clearance as well on this thing. Very comparable between the two rigs. I'm going to struggling with the little bit of understeer coming off that front axle, so I grabbed some rear to help it around. And then I will kind of push pause right here with the Executioner and sit in line while we get geared up for this next obstacle. All right, I'm a bit uphill and kind of in an off-camber position for this angle, but this is not a very difficult obstacle at all. So should just walk right over. Maybe a little bit of a belly out happen. But you see, it pulls right through it. Nice. So I'll roll that guy up, put him in his place, and then we'll bring the Executioner in. I'm going to kind of just sort of move that over. You can see the Executioner in the background there working working its way up. Try and follow that same line. Same belly out's going to happen. Exocutioner, I think, had a little bit more clearance on that one, so that's cool. Now I'm going to sneak over here and get set up for the next. Alright, this obstacle can be a bit tricky. I'm taking the difficult line to the right here, which is sort of like a stairway made out of concrete landscape curbing. And not a lot of traction. It's fairly slick, fairly smooth, and fairly ledgy. So, of course, you can kind of just bounce through everything, which is sometimes that's just how it goes. If you can't find the traction you need to get through it. I'd like to not totally bounce through it, so I'm going to use a little bit of momentum. And you can cheat and go off to the right here to find that way up, but we're not going to cheat. I'm going to just try and get that front tire up. And there's variable steepness in all of this too, so it might turn out, it might not. Pretty good belly out right there, but we should be good. And that last section is a little tricky. I'm gonna hit the four-wheel steer and come back down these rocks right here. So that's a very tight corner. I will use dig with the Rum Runner. And that was fairly good. I think it was fairly good. I'm going to crab walk back off out of the way. Now, run the Rum Runner. Nice. Handled that first section a bit better than the Exocutioner. See what this is the hardest spot in this whole obstacle set right here. So look at that steering angle. Pretty good steering angle. So I'm gonna bump it. Okay. Ooh, bellied out a little bit. I don't think the Executioner bellied out that much, but still we're in good shape. Honestly, I think the Rum Runner pulled this obstacle off over the Executioner. Okay, for this one I've got a kind of a goofy camera angle. I'm pretty far above this little climb, so but we're just gonna walk through it, and then once I get situated I will probably move the camera back to capture the last half. And this will be our last obstacle here for this head-to-head battle. Let's see what we can get here. This is a pretty cool sort of climb. Pretty twisty, quite a bit of weight on these Mias axles holding everything down, which is a good thing, right? So we walked that. That's a great job. Okay, I'm going to move this. Ignore the banging. And here we go. Okay. I'm going to try to not fall down while I do this, but we are going to try to maneuver through this. There's going to be an extreme angle right here, an extreme side hill that I don't believe the Exocutioner will be able to do. This truck does it. So that's pretty handy. Whoa, gotta be very, very touchy with the throttle. Uh-oh. And we didn't lose it. It worked. Okay, but now I'm going to try to drive. We're going to finish this off with this kind of weird angle I got going here. Uh-oh. We lost the camera, but that's okay. I'm going to keep going here. And I'm going to finish this guy off right there. So let's go catch this Exocutioner. I'll put this camera back in the first location, which was like that. Swing you guys over and see what we can do. This is the Exocutioner's first run on this new obstacle set I've got here. This is the newest obstacle set here. So we're going to see what it does. The bogger fell off that side, so that's interesting. Well, we're carrying a tire pretty good. I like carrying tires. Oh yeah, we've got the hook on it. See if we can maintain forward direction. Oh yeah, nailed it. Okay, gonna reposition here. Try not to drop the camera this time. Probably gonna drop the camera. So we come into this and get pretty, what is this, blurry? What's going on? There we go. Had a little bit of a blur happening. Hopefully it was just in that moment, not the whole frickin' deal. So anyway, this is where I think the Exocutioner is going to have a little bit of a struggle. And we shall see. It is very sideways, which maybe you can tell, maybe not. But I'm going to... Oh, we're in. We're in. It is in. Dang. That's cool. So then this is where we're going to drop in to follow this other line. And I think that the Rock Pirates rig, I had to goose it right there to keep it alive. But anyway, this is it. Oh, a little bit of traction struggle. Trying to drive with one hand. Anyhow, that's it. That's it. Tell me what you think, huh? Tell me what you think. Which rig performed better? Was it even? Did they both perform equally good in different areas? Did we have one that performed much better than the other? Or is it just not even a real comparison?